Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Solid Ground, the last Solid Ground for 2025. It's actually the 106th episode, according to my count. But of course, we didn't just start this year, but we'll have done almost 50 shows. That's probably quite an exaggeration, actually. There's 52 weeks in the year. We've probably gone close to 40-something shows this year. But here we are, the 23rd of December, and it's going to be the final Solid Ground for 2025. Don't worry, we will be back in 2026. But this is also going to be the final Family First show of the of the year. Hey guys, lovely to have you all along. Today's going to be a little bit more relaxed. I've got a few things to share with you, some very short bits of news, a few highlights from my perspective from the year. But I would love to hear from you. I can see comments coming through already. But look, obviously, as you always do, let me know where you are in the country. But perhaps, if you get the chance, where are you going to be for Christmas? Or what's the most exciting thing for you at Christmas time? Or perhaps even share with me and the others what's been your highlight for the year. I'll share mine as the show progresses. But look, just wanting to say it's lovely to have you all along, and thank you for all being part of the show this year. We can't start a show without Harrison. I think he wins the award for being the first on most consistently. So Merry Christmas to you, Harrison. And I agree with Tulsi Gabbard there. You don't preserve free speech by cancelling it. You preserve free speech by exercise. And I think you're 100% correct. And actually, I look at what the Australians are doing in response to the Bondi shootings, and it's completely missing the mark. Tightening gun restrictions, trying to reduce free speech and so forth without actually speaking about and challenging the very reason that sort of religious ideology, that mad ideology, which underpins what's happening. But good morning to you. We've got Mike. Good morning. Lovely to have you along. Rosie there in Taupo. Good morning. Actually, I'll be driving through Taupo sometime in January. Rachel and I, our big, if you will, not so much news, but our plan for January is to do a bit of a road trip around, particularly the South Island. But to Robin, good morning. Look, I love being here. Edmund, look, lovely to have you along, and Merry Christmas to you. To Darren, Merry Christmas. Fourth, Adam, good morning. We've got Strong in him there in Gisborne. And I'm pleased it's sunny because I can't show you easily, but it's a very glummy day here in Auckland, as any Aucklanders will know. Very grey, very overcast, but I will give it credit, it is cool. Good morning to Carl, lovely to have you along. Got Murray there. Yeah, we've had quite a bit of rain here. I don't know if it's a lot. Harrison's telling me that he's spending his Christmas in West Auckland, lovely. And what have we got? Lisa here's telling me the beautiful Golden Bay. In fact, I think we're in that vague area at some point. We've got family in Nelson, so we're going to be passing through that area. Staying home for Christmas, lovely. Darren's telling us he's going to be at Beachlands, lovely. I'm heading up to Whangarei, that's where my mum is. So of our 4 parents, between Rachel and I, 2 each of course, just in case anyone gets confused, we are going to be up in Whangarei, which is going to be wonderful. And so I just thought I'd put this up there because our design team, I think, did a great job. So as I say, last show, but yeah, I'm heading up north to spend time with my mum and my sister's family. There's also a brother, but he's with his in-laws. So, I mean, you all know it with the Christmas time of how you have to split things between families. And then, as I say, Rich and I are coming back briefly to Auckland before we head away. We head away. Good morning again to everyone coming here online. As I say, let me know, well, where you are. Where are your plans for Christmas? What's been the highlight for the year? Or what's one of the great things you love about Christmas Day? For me, it's obviously the gathering of family, but I just love the banter. The O'Connors, and certainly if you bring in Rachel's side of the family, the Bridges, we love to banter. We love to talk in a good way. We don't have that crazy uncle, or maybe I'm it. We don't have that crazy uncle who's causing major arguments. Hey, look, a few things, only very briefest of news. I thought this was good news. You might remember a couple of weeks ago, they think it was Boko Haram, so another Islamic terrorist group, attacked, in this case, a Catholic school and took about 200 and something young students. They kidnapped all of them. Well, the last 130 have been found and returned to their families, so I think that's Really good news, and thank you to everyone who's been praying for the Nigerian people and for the Nigerian Christians. The persecutions there only appear to be ramping up, which is really, really sad. But I thought that was somewhat good news. I was sharing last week a little bit about this guy, Jimmy Lai. He's a former owner and editor of something called the Apple Daily in Hong Kong. He was a very strong democracy advocate. The Hong Kong High Court, or their Supreme Court, has found him guilty of breaching their national security laws. And I mention this because I'm sad to say at one level, I find myself named in the case. I don't know Jimmy personally, I've not directly talked to him, but in my work with IPAC, that Inter-Parliamentary Alliance on China, myself and about 10 other IPAC members, so senators and MPs, or former MPs like myself now, have been named. So he's been accused of foreign interference, that he's been colluding with foreign forces to try and destroy Hong Kong, and he's been found guilty. It's a sham trial, complete sham trial run by an autocratic regime. But it's deeply saddening at one level that the work we do to promote democracy, to promote human rights, gets so abused and misused. And so, being named in the court case, it's actually left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth because I don't resile from the work that I've done around China, and I know democracy advocates want us to keep going, so we're going to. And this is part of the psychological warfare which the CCP tries to exact on people, because it does sort of hurt, I have to say, and I'm sharing this with you because it is quite personal. It does hurt to know that the work myself and others have done to promote democracy and human rights leads to good people, unfortunately, like Jimmy Lai being in prison, and also has implications on me and my family now. If he's accused and found guilty of colluding with foreign enemies, as they like to call it, well, myself and at least 9 others from my pack are those foreign enemies. So probably no surprise to you guys, but my days of travelling to China and Hong Kong and other Chinese-aligned countries is well and truly over. I knew that for a while, but it's just very, very sad. So pray for Jimmy. He is Christian, deeply held faith. Switching to Australia, of course, we all know about this guy, Ahmed Al-Ahmed. He received something like $2 million the other day, which I think is fantastic for what he's doing. But I just wanted to put these guys up, Boris and Sophia Gurman, because these are other heroes of the Bondi massacre by those Islamic terrorists, who we're not going to give any dignity to by naming them. But I'm just struck how little is being said of these guys, and everything is being said of this fellow. And really, I think there's enough praise to go around for all sets of people, because Boris and Sophia, and there's footage of this at the very start, just before the gunmen even opened fire, wrestled them to the ground. Unfortunately, they did not succeed and were immediately executed. They were the first to die. They were heroes too. And the comment I want to make is I think there's a deliberate reason why the media and politicians are just focusing on this guy and not this Russian Jewish couple, is because it helps deflect from the fact of who the terrorists were and their religious and political motivations. I know it's a bit of a somber thing to say on the last show, but it's just been sitting with me in recent days as I go, why are Boris and Sophia never mentioned? Why are this Russian Jewish couple living in Australia never mentioned? It's because it does not suit the narrative, because Ahmed Al-Ahmed is believed to also be Muslim and has done an amazing and wonderful thing. But you can see from politicians' speeches here in New Zealand and certainly in Australia, they use him to instantly deflect from actually the motivations of the terrorists themselves. It enables people to say, well, look, there can't be a problem here because this guy did a good thing. I think that's an unfortunate interpretation. I think we can still praise Ahmed for what he did, while also calling out why the terrorist acted, and to also say thank you to the likes of Boris and Sophia who laid down their lives. So yes, Big Bros, Big Rob, sorry, it's so small on my screen, is saying Merry Christmas to all. Food Dog's trying to tell me Winnie the Pooh's going to be after me, so that is true. Anna Marie is saying that they love family and mince pie. So we're switching topics here. I'm jumping all over the place, which I can because it's the last show. Telling family and meat pies is what they like to eat. So obviously, let me know others what you enjoy. And good morning to Disarray, I think it is there, if I'm reading correctly. Lovely to have you along. So let's be a little bit more warmer. So this was the first photo of my, just going to do a quick highlight. And as I say, let me know what you're doing for Christmas, what your highlights are, or even what's been one of the best things that's happened this year. So this is actually Rachel and I in the King Country. We took some of the kids down there at the start of the year. So this was actually my first photo of the year, a beautiful sunset sort of over the King Country. So that was absolutely lovely. And I have to say, it has been a great year. And I still have my solid ground mug. I haven't broken it yet. It's been a huge year for Family First. We know, and this was weeks ago, that we had over 40 million views across all our platforms. I mean, that is a phenomenal reach. And so to each and every one of you who not only watches and engages, but also shares our content, we're incredibly grateful. So from the Israel and Maria Folau interview, our detransitioners, Zara and Izzy, obviously all the shows, Straight Talk, Political Playback, Daybreak, Solid Ground itself. Huge reach this year for Family First. This is why we don't need legacy media anymore. It's one of the key reasons that Bob has done what he's done, and I must say I'm pleased to be working alongside him. Certainly one of the highlights of the year for Family First was our forum. Here's me with some of our speakers, the like of Carolee Smith there, closest to me at the moment, with the scarf around her neck. Jeff Johnson. Carolee, by the way, is the one who's calling men in sports men. And she's been hauled through the coals for vilifying the trans community. Because in Australia, and it's the same with the massacre in Bondi, calling a spade is not allowed. So Jeff Johnson there beside me, he's from Family Life in the United States. We've got Amanda Ackman right there at the end, and we have, and I'm having a name blank that is absolutely terrible, Dawn Hawkins. Dawn Hawkins beside me there, wonderful campaigner for women's and girls' rights, and then Amanda Ackman from Canada. So that was a real highlight. As you know, I do a lot of podcasting. This is going to be the top 5. The 5th most popular podcast was Dr. Kevin Donnelly. He is a wonderful educational and cultural spokesperson out of Australia. He's a wonderful commentator. He and I sat down to talk about how do we know what is truth out there in the community. And so you'll see over the coming weeks we're going to be releasing or letting you know what the top 5 were. And so that was fantastic. I'm just trying to find actually the most recent podcast I did was with my friend John Fox. He's an Anglican priest there in Canterbury, talking about the true meaning of Christmas. Sadly for John, because we've only just done the podcast, it probably won't reach the top 5, but as I say, just a little bit of a hint. As we say, we did podcasts pretty much every week this year, different guests on an array of topics. So Kevin was number 5. You're going to have to stay tuned to find out who was number 1. And while not so much a podcast, as you know, I do RCR, Reality Check Radio. My final interview for the year was with Rachel, my beautiful wife, talking about our various Christmas traditions, both as individuals when we were growing up, now together as a couple. And I was particularly interested to have Rachel share about, in effect, when she was by herself raising 5 kids, of how she balanced that, which was no mean feat, it must be said. I have to say, for me, a huge year of travel, lots of speaking engagements. You don't often see me in a suit and tie these days. This was me in Utah a few months back, giving a talk on religious freedom at one of their universities there. And then a few months prior, I was actually in Tokyo. This was taken from their parliament. Not in parliament anymore, but I keep being invited, talking about the Tibetan people and the struggles they're going through. I have to say, met some amazing people during the year. This is Helen Joyce. If you know Helen Joyce, she is phenomenal. Absolute articulate voice pushing back against the absurdity which is the gender ideologies in this world. I imagine many of you, well, I hope you do, recognise this fellow. It's Kevin Sorbo. I met him in London at the start of the year. And little did I know that a few months later I'd be interviewing his wife, Sam. She and I had a great podcast. Excuse me. So if you haven't already, jump onto the Family First website or onto YouTube and look up Sam Sorbo. She and I talk about homeschooling, raising teenagers, and all her perspectives from that. She was absolutely Absolutely fantastic. Harrison saying that he's seen, I'm just jumping topics again because that's what I do, because I say to people, let me know, and they're all coming through. I can see these comments of what you guys are doing for Christmas. Harrison says what he's wanting to do is just spend time with family and celebrating the birth of Christ. I think that is lovely. Others are noting just how biased the news is. We're talking about, obviously, Family First's reach, which is huge. I think it is brilliant, and thank you to Strong and him. We love what we do. I think I can speak on behalf of the team, and it really is a team. You often just see my face and Bob's, and now a little bit of Ala in what she's calling the no fluff zone. But behind us are an amazing team of people at Family First who help us do what we do, is basically the best way to put it. And if you do want to support us, particularly if you're on YouTube, just like and subscribe to our channel so that you can be notified about everything that's going on. Now, what else have we got coming through here? Someone else is saying Christmas is cancelled. Well, let's hope not, because actually it's only 2 days away, and I'm excited. And someone's saying I'm looking flash. I suspect that's probably one of the earlier photos with me in a suit. So yeah, lots of speaking engagement, lots of travel. So one of the people I also enjoyed meeting was this guy. If you follow British politics, he's out now like myself, but Jacob Rees-Mogg, he was an absolute character. He was at a pro-life dinner in London that I was also at, and we sat at the same table and had a wonderful chat that night. Everything wasn't just so, if you will, enjoyable, but also still important. This is from Israel. This is one of the kibbutz Nuruz, near the Gaza border. In fact, it's only about 1 kilometre from the Gaza border. When you're in the kibbutz, you can see Gaza, you can see the fences. This is where a quarter of the kibbutz's population were killed, and not just killed, but butchered. So as you know, maybe you do or don't know, but I was in Israel at the start of the year in the Gaza envelope, so down at the border visiting these massacre sites, including Nova. That's the music festival where Hamas and Gazan citizens killed over 400 young people, just butchered them. That's one of the striking things, butchered them and then set everything ablaze. So that's just one of the photos. I mean, a very affecting trip, probably one of the most profound trips for me this year. I've done, for me, some amazing things. Well, I find them amazing. But this was quite affecting, particularly to meet the survivors. It wasn't all sad, though. I got to Jerusalem. For those who know their history or perhaps have travelled there, this is the Holy Sepulchre in the old city of Jerusalem. That was amazing to go in. There's the dome, of course, of the light coming through, but beneath it you'll see like a little, it's not so much a tomb, but a little church. And in there is where they believe Jesus was laid. It's believed to be his rock-cut tomb. And so you have to bow your head. The door is only about half height. You have to bow down quite deliberately. And you go in there and you get about 30 seconds before the priest or the deacon outside ushers you out. But that was quite affecting. As I say, I went to Utah earlier the year. Turned out that within 5 minutes of where Rachel and I were staying was the University of Utah, UVU, Utah Valley University, where Charlie Kirk was killed. And absolutely tragic. I just saw some other comments directed at Mike. I think if I'm reading this right, this was the highlight for Mike this year. And again, share with me if you like your highlights. But Mike's was finding out his eldest daughter was accepted to the law program. I think that is marvellous. Mike, my stepdaughter's finished now, but she did her law degree at AUT, and now she's started a new job. She's actually just finished one job and moving into the other. So congratulations on that. I think that's really, really cool. I think it's really neat, actually. It is cool. And right, I got distracted. So yeah, this is where, unfortunately, Charlie Kirk was shot. And so yeah, Rachel and I went along there again. We've sort of had wonderful things that we've done together, but it's also been a bit sad at times. It wasn't all memorial sites, though. We did go tramping. One of the things that made me laugh, but quite necessarily, bear spray. So as you go in the Grand Tetons, which is one of the big national parks there in the state of Wyoming, and also going through Yellowstone, you have to take bear spray. So think of it's like it's like paprika, but very, very strong. So everyone carries it, that or sidearms, but as you might imagine, I wasn't carrying a sidearm. Robin saying her highlight was her daughter visiting in the winter. I think that is wonderful. Isn't it great when the kids come back? I just think that is absolutely neat. And I thought I'd share this with you because, as you guys may or may not know, I think most of you do, I'm recording now from a new studio. And I know I really need to do a video to show you what I see inside here, but I thought I would take a photo. This is my treehouse. So I thought I would share with you where I now do all my podcasts, where I do all my online radio for RCR, where I do Daybreak, where I do political playback, where I do straight talk, all the shows. Even when I'm on Radio Rema, anywhere I need to do interviews, I'm now in this treehouse. So this is the outside view, obviously. I have to walk up some stairs at the back, but it's very close to my home. I just walk here. Let's see what happens when it's bucketing with rain. You can't see it for the trees, but I have a Starlink attached. I've run power to it, so it's fully operational. So that's my little treehouse, guys. This is where I'm actually coming to you from this morning. And it's just absolutely beautiful, surrounded by trees, which, believe it or not, doesn't affect the Starlink too much. But I'm able to do all I need to do. But I'm hoping in the new year, once Rach and I are back from our little trip, that I will show you the inside. I'll do a little video to give you a little more of a feel, because I don't know of any other podcaster in New Zealand, I could be wrong, who is broadcasting from a treehouse. So that's where I am. And as George Harrison's about, am I the new George of the jungle? You never know. So yeah, that's it there. So I love it. It's quite fun. So guys, obviously this is the last show of the year. It has been an absolute privilege. It really has, an absolute privilege to be here at Family First and with all of you. Before I begin to wrap up, Nigel's saying the hut looks good. It does, and I have to say, it doesn't leak. It's hard to explain to people potentially, but actually this treehouse is modern built. It's not just it's very modern built, and Food Dogs Trucking has pointed out too, yeah, there is a lot of firewood. If all of a sudden you see me getting very hot and sweaty, you know that it's caught fire, and I need to make a very quick exit. But yeah, it's actually been used to store firewood down here. It's actually my neighbour's place. I better be clear on that. This was not my property, but my neighbours have very kindly offered it to me. They came to me about a month ago, and to Rachel, knocking excitedly on the door and said, "Look, we love your programs, love what you're doing. Would you want to use our treehouse?" We don't, and so that's where I am, just with lots of firewood. And just for the sake of people can see in the middle, there's a rope. There's actually a swing there. I want to say for the record, you don't find me on the swing. That's it. Guys, as I say, we're coming to the end of the year now. This is the final show for Family First this year. I just want to really say to each and every one of you, thanks for being part not only of Solid Ground here in the mornings, but part of all our shows across the year, and for your support of Family First. We do this because of you. We do this because of our families. And we are here, and we'll continue in 2026 to be promoting strong families, strong relationships, strong marriages, of course, happy families, good children, well-educated children, a society that's based on human rights, life for all, respect and dignity. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep advocating as strongly as we can. And we're able to do that for at least two reasons. One, of course, is each and every one of you. The support you give us, you give me, is just absolutely tremendous. Be it the text messages, the emails, stopping us on the street, your comments here on the shows. It means so much. It really does. I mean, we do the work regardless, but it's nice to know that we literally have thousands and thousands of Kiwis behind us who appreciate the work we do and amplify it by sharing what we say and our content to wider New Zealand. But the second reason is that Family First has an amazing team of people. They'd be embarrassed if I named each and every one of them. But as I say, or noted earlier, the likes of Bob and myself front a lot of these shows. You'll sometimes see Ala. But actually we are served by an amazing team of people. I have amazing colleagues. Bob, of course, leads the show, but there's a whole lot of others who do everything from our design to our sound to our social media to our research to our administration to running our accounts. It's an amazing team of people, and it's a real privilege to be with them all. And of course we've got the amazing guests who come on, from Peter Williams to Rodney Hyde to Christine Rankin to Sue Reed. Everyone who comes on to our shows and Straight Talk in particular, or the guests we had, Tanya Unkovic on Political Playback. We just have such amazing people. And perhaps that's where I really need to get to in saying thanks to each and every one of you, is that we are just surrounded here at Family First. And this includes each and every one of you by amazing people. And we're incredibly grateful, and I'm incredibly grateful to each and every one of you. And I must say, I'm quite touched as I'm seeing all these wonderful, wonderful comments coming through. So I'm going to start wrapping up, as I've pretty much already done. As I say, we're done for the year. I'm going to be heading north with Rachel and one of our young ones to see my mum and some of my family. We'll be back, I suspect, it's probably late January, early February. I don't have an exact restart time for Solid Ground. I probably should, but I don't. So keep an eye on socials. We'll advertise it there. But you'll see our podcast, all our shows coming back online, probably late January or February next year. So don't forget us. Obviously, you're not going to see much over the coming weeks. We are going to all take a break. In fact, to the extent that you can, encourage each and every one of you to have a break. And yes, this is my lovely wife. This is her and I crouching in a cave in the Grand Teton National Park. It's hard to imagine. Imagine it as a big domed cave with a hole in the middle of which a waterfall comes through. So that's sort of speak a final farewell. As I say, we started, Rachel and I, the year with this beautiful, beautiful sunshine in Tikawiti. And we're not so much ending the year, but this was us, as I say, just a few weeks back in our amazing trip to Utah. So I'm just going to skim through these last comments because all of you guys have been absolutely fantastic. And as I say, a lot of it here in the program is so much to do with everything that you guys have to and say. And that's why I'm putting all your comments up, because I think you are a very big part of this program, guys, and everything that you do. As Harrison's known, it's going to be an exciting year. It will be exciting next year. And we've got Cal's, lovely to have you here. We've got Andrew Media. Oh, see, I don't always know who's on the show here, but I'm just going through all your last comments because, again, you are all really an amazing part of this show. And I just think it's absolutely lovely. It really is. So guys, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Always know, as I say, you can jump on to our website. There's no shortage of things. You can check out RCR, of course, but you know that Family First has got tons and tons of stuff. You know, if you're bored over the Christmas period, why not jump onto our website? You can watch, you can read, you can listen. There's just no shortage of stuff to engage with. But in the meantime, I just hope you all have a blessed, happy and holy Christmas, a wonderful new year, an enjoyable summer. Whether it's with family or friends or just quietly with yourself, may it just be a real wonderful time of peace. As we all know, it's when we remember the birth of Jesus, humbly in a stable, surrounded by creation and by his parents, in a lowly, simple manger, the Son of God, born to this world, in great humility, and yet to become the King of Kings and someone who has redeemed us all. So a very Merry Christmas to every one of you. Have a blessed, happy time. See you in 2026.